Hello everyone and welcome to race 12 of the NASCAR Heat 5 Clint Bowyer season mode. I just want to take a moment to say thank you, because we've hit 200 subscribers after the whole Project Retro Oval teaser, and I really appreciate what we've been able to do so far. If the subscribers weren't there, I would have probably stopped running this show after season 1 of the mock series, so that just kind of shows you how much it keeps me going. But I haven't noticed for 704, they screwed up again. Because take a look at Martinsville. This is the spring race. It's the Xfinity 500. That's the playoff race name, and it's a day race. Which the playoff race is not a day race. But even worse, if I were to go all the way down to the penultimate race of the year, which is also Martinsville, it's named wrong too, because they swapped the dates, but neither of them are at night. When in reality, the spring race is a completely night race, and the fall race runs into the night. So I don't know how they managed to screw that up that bad, but they really did. Anyway, let's look at the championship standings right now. I still got a pretty secure lead above Martin Truex Jr. As you remember, I pulled off some late race freaky moves, especially against Dennis at the end of Dover. Managed to bring it home in 7th spot, but Truex managed to win again. So we currently have 6 different drivers with wins. I've got 5 of them. Right now, Kyle Busch is the highest driver without a win. Then behind him is Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Denny Hamlin. So kind of sensible on that front. But right now, because of all the strange and just generally odd winners, we have a really screwed up playoff order. So we're going to have to see how that goes through the season. But we got Martinsville coming up. I'm excited for this race, one of the few good tracks in this game. And let's do it. Hey, you know what? Is this the current NASCAR Superstore logo? Because, listen, I don't know if they changed the logo, but that is obviously not the current NASCAR logo itself. So, if they haven't changed that yet, I really hope they do, because that doesn't make any sense for their current branding.
Clear out, hammer down.
As you know, Martinsville is a very rhythm racetrack. So I'm really only running practice so I can get into that rhythm and bust off a good qualifying lap.
Let's go.
Alright, here we go, jumping right into qualifying. We are not using a custom setup. Just going 1 tick up on the loose side.
All right, coming to the green. This one counts.
Overdrove turn number 3. And because Martinsville is a rhythm racetrack, I'm probably going to be silent for a lot of the race. 6th spot. I think that might be my best qualifying position all season. Maybe except for Bristol. Can't really remember what I qualified there. Anyway, pole sitter, Martin Truex Jr. I'm going to be fighting him all season. Christopher Bell in 3rd, best running rookie. Daniel Suarez in 12th. This game really likes Gaunt Brothers for some reason. BJ McLeod in 14th. I want to see him make the playoffs. It's that simple. How can Eric Almirola suck so bad in this, yet he won at Texas? I guess he can only win when I'm not in the race, because that was the race I DNF'd in. Matt Benedetto isn't nearly as fast as expected. Martin Truex Jr. won the pole, of course. I just got to knock him right off it. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. failed tech. Not really sure why JTG would want to cheat. Alright, here we go. Hoping to have the Pro Stock gear yet again.
All right, dig driver. Inside.
Not really, but very quick shifts.
Car there on the inside. Car there on the inside.
Alright, Reddick to my inside now. Gonna try and get to the bottom. Talk about bullying your way down. Alright, gotten around Keselowski. Oop, Keselowski gave me a shot. Hey, I'm getting flashbacks to Texas. I think I owe you one.
Still there. Looking inside now. All clear.
Alright, now gonna try and settle in. Ooh.
Stay low, stay low.
Well, you know very well I'm not going to cut Brad any brakes.
All clear.
Neither am I going to cut Truex any brakes, but I'm not there yet.
Car high now.
Getting around Christopher. Is it weird when I say the name Bell, I think it's TJ.
Car there on the inside.
Really overdrove turn 1.
Load's clear. Got one inside.
Well, I thought I could cut him off. Really couldn't.
Still there. Careful, still there. All right, clear outside. That was a great lap.
You realize the lap before I busted off a 19.5? I don't think I've ever ran a lap that good. I don't know, I'm starting to reel in Truex, actually. And I'm not having to rely on lap cars. I'm driving like a total idiot right now. You know, kind of diamonding the corners, which isn't something you should have to do at Martinsville. I mean, you should just logically wrap the bottom. But that's definitely not what I'm doing. We can make it all the way to the end of this stage without pitting for gas, so really I just kind of have to get what I can get right now. Like that.
Still there.
And see ya.
All right, you're clear.
I'm sure the fans like that. But I gotta get all the time I can get out of this fresher tires before they start to degrade at the end of the stage. No real like tire wear problems like what we had at Richmond or Phoenix at Martinsville, and that's because I'm not trying some crazy custom setup.
40 to go.
But still, you know, you gotta stay on top of the tire wear. Jeez, got a little loose there. We see we have 19 laps remaining in the stage, so that kind of shows you how important saving these tires are. I'm hoping to get a lap car buffer above the 19, which it looks like I'm going to do right here, so that it can allow me to conserve my equipment a little bit better.
Car there on the inside. Load's clear. Careful, still there. All right, you're clear.
I can't remember when I was talking about it. I think it was Richmond. But there, whenever I would touch the brakes, the car would want to shoot left. Here, for some reason, it wants to shoot right. And, you know, Martinsville, we don't turn right here, so I'm not really sure why the default setup would work that way. That really doesn't make any sense. But then again, it's a lot like the Papyrus rumor. There's rumors that Papyrus screwed up the setups in NR 2003 on purpose, so that its players would figure out how to make their own setups. Maybe that's what 704 did. All the normal setups suck,
This race is half over.
so that might have been their idea. Why did Jeff Gordon just say this race is half over? I'm pretty sure we're 17 laps into a 125 lap race.
Still there.
Jeff really knows his math.
Hold that line, driver.
Getting into some heavy lap traffic right now.
All right, you're clear. Clear high, bud. Clear high, clear high.
I'm hoping to put a very severe whooping on the field in this race because, you know, in NASCAR heat, you gotta kind of do good at all the tracks that make sense, because the other tracks will have some kind of stupid glitch that'll ruin your whole weekend, or at least make you so angry that you can't drive,
All right, clear outside.
which is my case. You know, I get to like Kurt Busch levels of anger on the inside, but I don't show it. But believe me, it's there. Not right now, because I'm lapping like half the field.
Stay low.
The anger ain't there.
Now.
But it might be at some point.
Clear high. Clear high.
Okay, caught the curb a little.
Car high now. You're all clear up top.
All right,
You're clear.
gonna lap Justin Haley.
All clear.
You know, Colleague Racing
Keep digging.
announced that they're gonna run 10 races next season in Cup. The super speedways and the road courses. But what I need to know is, are they using different drivers for them? Because logically, you would have Justin run the speedways and AJ run the road courses. But I'm just really curious as to what they have planned. Because if that's what they do, that'd have to be like my #1 favorite Cup team next season, and they're only going to run 10 races. You can tell tires have started to really get worn out, because I'm starting to slide everywhere. %63% on the right rear. That's probably why. Matt Kenseth? Hang on. Matt Kenseth has just taken second. At what, 46 years old? Well, he just fell to third. But yeah, Matt's coming back. I don't know at all whether or not Bubba's on the lead lap. I hope he is, because my goal for this race is to lap as many cars as possible. Car's starting to get real swoose.
5 more laps.
Hear how easy I have to be back to the throttle? Otherwise, I'll just be spinning the right rear tire. Maybe even the left rear now. But they are wearing really disproportionately, which makes sense. But it's what I'm dealing with right now. It's why I'm sliding on entry and on exit. All right, gonna get around Bubba right here.
Still there. All clear.
That was a big slide. You can see how much the times have fallen off. I think the last lap I ran a 20.3 almost. That's about 0.8 off of where we started.
2 laps to go.
I'm
Won that
Whoa,
stage.
okay.
Way to go, driver.
All right, we cut the stage early. I wanted above Reddick, Kenseth. I saw Bell in there. It's a good list. I pit, get damage, repair, come out 5th. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do the classic Clint Bowyer move on the inside, 3 wide, and see what I can do. Okay, that was a good restart. Either that or Reddick cannot get through the gears.
Car there on your outside. All right.
Okay.
Clear. All right.
We're up to second. Kenseth got a great restart. It's weird being back on fresh tires, how much different it feels. Because, you know, when they wear out, it's progressive. They get worse as time goes on, but when you go from really bad to really good, it's next to instant, and it doesn't really give you any time to react to it. But that's, you know, a real thing. But I just suck at that because it throws my rhythm off. This is how Kenseth felt in the fall race, being able to screw with Kevin Harvick. Like, I bet you that was one of the happiest moments of Kenseth's career. Being able to really screw with Harvick's mind Because if you don't recall, Harvick tried to move Kenseth out of the way, but Harvick was so slow that Kenseth just passed him. Like, it was hilarious. I was clapping. I really was. Because, I don't know, somehow Matt Kenseth became the little guy, and I always like to root for the little guys, you know? Even though he wasn't underfunded.
Good job.
But it's kind of like, you know,
Looking good.
when they gave Morgan Shepherd RCR equipment in the Nationwide Series in 2010, it's like,
You're clear.
you know, you got a good car,
All right, clear out.
but I know that it's not going to be a race win, but I'll still root for anything you do. You know, it's one of those circumstances. And Morgan got RCR cars that year because of John West Townley's suckage, didn't he? Can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure that was the case.
Powers called a caution.
Oh, we got another yellow. I was just getting settled in.
We're going green. Ready. Green's out. Let's go. All clear.
Alright, we beat Kenseth out of 2.
Pointing to go. You got this.
The repetition of this racetrack. I love it. Because, you know, it's such a rhythm racetrack with both ends pretty much being the same. So, I mean, really, you're racing the racetrack, and even in this game, it's fun. And that's a rare statement when it comes to this game, that, you know, a track can be fun in it. But this track is pretty much universally fun. I mean, this racetrack's got a lot of charm to it. You know, with the really tight braking zones. And, you know, sharp corners. It's like if you connected the hairpin in turn 11 at Sonoma. Then ran at the opposite direction.
Yellow's out. Back her down.
Alright. Joey Gase, I saw him backwards. Just nose it straight into the wall. Genius.
We're going green.
Alright, here we go again. Another restart.
Ready. Green's out. Let's go.
Reddick on my outside this time.
All clear.
Haven't gotten the opportunity in this stage to lap anybody. It's kind of disappointing. You know, I'm probably not going to get it now because of the very short run to the finish of this stage. But considering that I think Joey Gase is out, that brings the lap count up one more car at least. Now's when I gotta focus. So I'll probably be pretty silent. I overdrove 3, but I got a very straight exit off. That was a slide. And still sliding. Tire's really getting worn. Now smoke him if you got him. Alright, Kenseth's really gaining on me, but I don't think he's going to have enough time.
last lap this time by.
And that's a stage sweep.
Won that stage. Way to go, driver.
So you can tell this car's good. You can definitely tell I like Martinsville. Anyway, Matt Kenseth getting second in a stage. Who would have thought? And I get out in first. Fortunately, we didn't have anything to repair after that yellow.
Coming to the green, driver.
Kept it pretty clean during the second stage.
All right, you're clear.
Just trying to adapt to the fresh tires. Kevin Harvick got his way up to second.
Inside. All right, you're clear. Keep it up. That was your best lap ever.
Wow, a 19.49. That is a good lap. That actually would have been good enough for pole.
That was a great
19.46. Alright, so that would have been definitely good enough for pole. You are seeing my best driving right now. And for good reason. I've got Kevin Harvick behind me. Which, if this game was realistic, he'd be somewhere around 20th at this track. Overdrove turn 1. Hoping to cut back to the bottom and floor it. Which is what I did. You can kind of salvage your corner if you overdrive it, if you do that. You know, you just get a really straight exit off. You can actually get to the throttle earlier than your competition. Like right here, I overdrove it, get the car pointed, floor it. You see there, I actually gapped Harvick. So me and Harvick have really gapped the field at this point. You can see Kevin has about a 2-second gap on Tyler Reddick, who's in third. Now we're getting into some lap traffic. This is what I wanted to see. Because I can stall Kevin out.
Still there. Clear high, bud.
Okay. That was the worst slide I've had so far.
You're all clear up top.
Okay, Kevin's just taking advantage of the holes that I've been making, so...
Yellow flag.
Well, I wanted that to go green. Of course it wouldn't. It's NASCAR Heat 5.
All right, be smart out
And
there.
we're hoping to get a good restart.
You ready? All right, let's go. All right, clear outside. Got a
Okay,
car
kind of
now.
tried to screw over the 4 car right there, and it kind of worked. Got a very awkward entry to turn 3 right there. And by the way, on the subject of the Harvick incident on the restart, I do not make for a very good teammate, do I? You know, I want an explanation of how Martinsville Speedway promoters got which race goes where screwed up. They actually mixed up the playoff and spring races, where this is the Xfinity 500, which it shouldn't be. That should be the penultimate race of the season. And the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 is in the fall. So I want to know, in this reality, how the actual racetrack screwed up their own races and never runs them at night. Like, what kind of bizarro Martinsville am I working with? I really overdrove myself in turn 1. But I actually got a pretty good exit. You can really tell the pace has fallen off a cliff. Lap times are slowing down a lot, as the tires have now gotten below 65% on the right rear. Okay. Yeah, tire wear is getting bad.
From the outside. Outside. All clear.
I was trying to, like, get the car to set down by feathering the throttle, but I should have just lifted completely. Because that would actually straighten the thing up better than what I was doing. I was just being an idiot. Okay, smoke coming out of the 13. I think he blew the tire. Thank you, Ty Dillon,
Clear high.
for getting the heat off of me. Please no caution. Please no caution.
Clear.
I think he's getting to pit road.
Top.
Well, not yet. He might just be running around at 20 miles an hour.
All clear. All right, you're clear.
Went to the outside of Timmy Hill. I kind of regret that.
Careful, still there.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. There's smoke going everywhere. Somebody blew up. Pit quickly. I didn't want to run into someone and get DNF'd. All right, there's Ty Dillon. He's sitting on pit road.
Ready here.
The game noticed.
Green's out.
Oh, hey, no caution for Ty Dillon? Let me give you one. The game knew that it wanted to bring out a caution, but it couldn't with the first one. So it had to strike back. Outdrove myself.
Load's clear.
Made it stick. Really overdid it.
Got one down low now. All clear.
Because, you know, when your tires are worn compared to when they're fresh like they are now, your braking points are actually way different. So, just kind of trying to adapt right now. That's why I think I screwed up there.
Bottom's free. Use
Ryan Newman's sticking with me. We might have a battle until we get to lap traffic. So now I've found lap traffic. Michael McDowell's the first car ahead of me. Alright, here we go.
Still there.
Gonna try and put a lap car buffer between me and the Rocket Man.
Still there. All right, you're clear. Bottom's looking good.
There we go. Now Ross Chastain can block him. And same with Timmy Hill.
You're all clear up top.
Less than 15 laps to go. I just outdrove turn 1. And there, Newman is entrapped.
Go. Careful.
Down to 10 laps to go.
All clear.
I got a 3-second gap above Ryan Newman,
Clear all around.
which is a good sight.
All right, careful. Clear high, bud.
Still getting loose. Really loose, actually. Sometimes, at least when I try to get on the throttle a little bit too hard on exit. You know, there's a very significant dividing line between the cars that suck and the cars that are pretty quick. It's between the 43 car of Bubba to whoever's in front of me. And it's a big gap in competition. Because you can tell how those guys are kind of running in a gaggle. And then whatever car's in front of me is up with another gaggle. So there's no real cars in the middle of that performance. Which is really strange. You'd think the way they rated this, this game, that wouldn't be the case. Because I mean, what kind of drop-off is there in competition from like 19th to 20th? I'm just assuming that's their positions, but where, let's say 19th, I think that's Bowman, can be like 6 seconds ahead of 20th. Quite a few laps into a run. That's really far off.
Powers called a caution.
Great. Just amazing. We always have to have this. Overtime in Martinsville, screw it. Need to have an exciting finish for the fans, whatever. We need NBC to have more highlights.
Green out, let's go. 2 to go. All clear. Got one inside. All right, you're clear. Last lap, hit your mark. Hold your line. Got one inside.
There we go.
You're all clear on the bottom.
Shutting you up, Kenseth. Kenseth, you thought you could get some, but you're not going to get a 6th win of the season.
Good job, driver. Check your flag.
And Kenseth finished 2nd. That's good enough for me. Speed rating of 105. I don't normally get that. Okay. Alright, I'm going to have to figure this one out. You're going to have to do a Mike Skinner and do the donut in between the 2 walls on the front stretch of Martinsville. So, Matt Kenseth, you thought you could get in there, so you know what? You're going to get this. Not quite as much. A little bit for Martin. But not quite as bad as they normally would, because I kind of gave Kenseth the room. But still. Let it be known, let it be heard. I got no idea how I'm going to do this one. I guess that's how. Right? Kind of works. Alright, so that's the 6th win of the season. Really getting good, at least at this racetrack. We lapped all the way up to 20th. So I was right about the difference between at least 20th to 21st being that drastic, because I could never get up high enough to lap the people in front of that spot. Actually, it might have been 19th to 20th, because Logano got back on the lead lap because of the overtime caution. So, yeah, I didn't even know what spot I was lapping, and I was right. We have a 104-point lead above Martin Truex Jr. after only 12 races into the season. Grandfather clock. We done it. We still have that 50% win ratio. Ran 12 races, we won 6 of them. Alright, so I had the fastest lap at 19.46, which would have been well good enough for the pole. I led 111 laps. Wow. That's quite a few. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. started 40th, finished 21st. And Brad started 4th, finished 40th. He's finished dead last 2 consecutive races. Remember he wrecked out at Dover? In front of me as well. So after 12 races, I've won 6. Martin Truex Jr. has only won 2, and he's currently 2nd in points. We have a 104-point gap. I'm hoping to continue that into the longest race of the year, the Coke 600. The only race of the year that has 4 stages. So I really want to take advantage of that, too. So, season's looking really good so far. Let's take a look at who's last in points. It's still Joey Gase. Why? Just score a point. Come on. What is keeping him out of point-scoring positions when he's already gotten 7 stage points this season? I don't get it. But then again, Chad Fincham scored 14 stage points. John Hunter's won a stage, so what am I talking about? Ty Dillon and Bubba have won races. And just to update you on the Bubba situation, he's 26th in points. That's really close to 30th. And if you drop outside of 30th, that win don't mean squat when it comes to the playoffs. Currently, the drivers who need wins include Chase Elliott, the actual 2020 Series champion. So imagine if, just like the Mock Series, he does terrible in comparison. The drivers who need points are Logano, Kenseth, Johnson, Stenhouse, and Jones. I tell you what, Kenseth was really going for it, though, at Martinsville. He could have won if I was a little bit stupider. So anyway, on to race number 13 at Charlotte, and I will see you there.